Goes. I'm Brian Sheehan here, just Brian. On behalf of the entire Lions USA and its affiliates team, welcome to the Growth Workshop Series. I'm excited. Are you excited? I even have my drum here. We're gonna have some good time tonight. We're gonna be energetic. We're gonna do great things. We're beyond glad that you're here because what we're doing together is powerful and simple. We're growing Lions so we can serve more people and to be proud of the growth of this constitutional area. More members equals more service, period. End of day. That's a fact, Jack. If you're excited to see growth, give me a yip yo in the chat. Yip yo means you are excited. Let's see a yip yo down there. Now, whether you're here to breathe new life into your existing clubs or spark brand new ones into action, you are in the right place. Everything we talk about tonight can be used to fuel all kinds of membership growth. We have newer members here. We have newer clubs. We have experienced members here. Now, here's the fresh take. This series is about more than strategy. It's about culture, a shift in mindset. Now, many of you have heard it before, and we're going to say it again with our whole chest. The culture every lion and Leo must embrace is one of growth. We have to grow. It's not for numbers, it's not for pride, but because the needs in our hometowns are growing. Your hometown needs lions because every community needs more helping hands, because every human deserves the chance to connect, to contribute, and make life better for others. This is our moment, so let's own it. Now, here's the great news. Here's the great news that we have going on today. Lions International already has strong tools and resources to help you grow clubs and to start new ones. And that is certifiably awesome. But let's be crystal clear here. We're not here to read you a manual or go page by page through materials. No way. We're here to build on what's already working by diving into real talk about what works and what gets in the way. Real examples from Lions making it happen right now. We want you to share in the box of difficulties you're having, the experience you're having, the success that you're having, and real tools you can use the moment you leave this session. And every session follows a rhythm. Quick, practical learning, success stories from the field, new tools, and bold strategies. Breakout rooms where you get real, apply the learning, and walk out with a clear action to take home with you. A couple ground rules here. No titles, no hierarchy, no ego. We're all lions here. We're building this together. Today, here's how we're going to roll. You're going to be muted during the main session here. You'll be unmuted in breakout rooms because that's where the real magic happens. Now, just because you're muted during the main session doesn't mean silence. Use that chat, drop in questions, shout out ideas, share what's working and what's not working, because our moderator team is ready and waiting to pull your brilliance into the room as well. And let's lock this in right now. This is a safe place. There's no judgment here. We're here to tackle real challenges with real solutions. No perfect answers required. Just show up, honest and ready. Look around you. You're joined by Lions and Leos from across Constitutional Area 1. That means you're not alone. You've got a room full of brilliance, creativity, and experience, and you're sharing with that. You're a part of that. So listen, share, steal the good stuff, steal the stuff that's going to work for you, and walk out with action steps that make a difference right now. We need to make an impact. Don't wait for somebody else to make the changes. This is your point. This is your part. This is where you need to help make the changes. We're all in this together. So now let's kick things off with some inspiration from the very top. A lion who's laser focused on growth and ready to serve the world. Our incoming international president, president-elect, stepping in July 1st. Mark, let's take it away.
Hi, everybody. It's International First Vice President Mark Lyon. Just want to give you some information about this great series that's going on. sponsored by Lions USA. You know, we talk a lot about growth and the importance of the impact that growth makes on Lions all over the world. Well, Lions USA is taking on this great initiative to show how we can continue to grow our organization and make it even more impactful for not only the Lions that are doing all the service, but for the people that we are serving, to have a greater impact on who we are and how we feel about our neighbors in need. We know how important it is to keep our clubs growing, to keep our districts and multiple districts growing as well. So this workshop series that's going to be held over the next few weeks is going to cover a lot of areas that are really, really important to all of us. And so I want you to stay connected to these sessions. I want you to sign on for as many as you can. I want you to put the right Lions people on these calls, on these webinars, because this is really important information for all of us to understand. And going forward, I want to make sure that our Lions USA organization stays really laser focused on the importance of these initiatives going forward. So we're going to start off this session today on process and club types. And that's going to cover a lot of ground. We know that there is so much going on with the process of starting new clubs, the importance of establishing these clubs and making them so that they are sustainable. That is a critical factor for us to be considering in the days ahead. We don't start clubs in CA1 to last for a couple of years. We want those clubs to be around forever. And to do that, we need to follow this process for growth, this process for sustainability, this process for success in getting these clubs started. And we know that this covers all kinds of clubs as well, not just our traditional clubs, which are the bread and butter, the foundation of our association, are our traditional community-based clubs. But we also have to think outside the box, right? Past President Brian always told us to throw that box away, because we have to think in different ways about how our organization is structured at the local level. And that means we have to look at different types of clubs and specialty clubs. You've heard all the language about that, but I want to reinforce how important that is for us going forward. So again, this is a 4-part series. It's going to start with this one on January 6th. We're going to continue into February, covering a variety of topics that are all crucial to our growth and the impact that we make right here in Constitutional Area 1. I couldn't be more proud of the team that's hosting these events. They've put a lot of time into this. These are people that I consider to be subject matter experts in a variety of topics as they present them. We want to make sure that we stay focused on that and that we take the learnings that we're going to gain from these sessions and share them. We can't live in these silos anymore. In CA1, it's so important to our future growth, the growth that we know can happen, to make sure that we share the learnings that we have along the way, all the way, to make sure that all of our Lions understand how important these things are. So today, we're going to learn some practical techniques. We're going to have new ways to look at things with respect to the process for club starting and getting things going with new clubs and club development. So I hope you enjoy the session. I know I will. Looking forward to seeing a lot of your comments on social media. We need to continue to talk about this in the days following each of these 4 sessions. So make sure that you do that. Make sure that you share this on social media. You let your Lions clubs know the relevance of the learnings that you had, and continue to find new ways to grow our association so that we can have an even greater impact on the people that we live with, that we serve every day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mark Lyon. That's Mark Lyon. That's our incoming president. And Mark Lyon's not lying. Thank you so much, Mark, for that message. What a message it was. His words hit home with a perfect mix of passion and purpose and pride and what it means to be a Lion. You can feel his commitment to growth, can't you? It's not just in numbers, but it's in service, it's in spirit, and in the lives we touch every day. His leadership reminds us why we do this work. Because the world needs more kindness, more courage, and more connection than ever before. With leaders like Mark paving the way, there is no doubt we're not just going to move forward, but we're going to be lifting others as we grow as well. You believe in it, don't you? You all have conventions coming up. Now, wouldn't it be great to have a district new club charter at your conventions coming up? That's what our president-elect Mark is asking. Strong finish. Let's get new clubs out there. Let's rejuvenate the ones we have, and let's have a fast start for Lions Mark's year. I cannot wait for him to be president. So let's talk about two fundamental truths where it comes to growing lions, okay? Truth number one, yes, we must add lions to grow. It's simple math. We've got to bring in more lions than we lose. That's how we build momentum. That's how we build energy. That's how we build impact. And let's bring them in groups, bring them in together. Now, truth number two, once we get them in here, we must keep them. It's not just about bringing lions or Leos in. It's about keeping them roaring all the time, keeping that excitement, because when we lose good people, we lose our strength. Retention is just as important as recruitment. And where does it all start? It starts with recruiting lions. It starts with each and every one of us. Now, I'm not talking about just adding names to a list. I'm talking about bringing in quality lions. I'd take 10 fired up, service minded, ready to roar lions just like you than over 100 who are just breathing. And that's a fact, Jack. We want lions just like you, passionate, purpose driven, people who are here to serve others. But here's the challenge. Sometimes we don't know who's got the fire in their heart until we give them a chance, until they're placed in an arena of service. That's where true lions rise. After all, if you've heard me talk before, you know I was an introvert, and it's taken me a while to get out of my shell. And that's with other people too. We have to find where their talents are and put them in a chance to succeed. We all serve in different ways, but we want the type of people that are sustainable and will be around when they realize what a benefit that this organization is and how it changes lives. You guys know what I'm talking about, not only your own, but for so many others. So let's stay focused. Recruit with purpose, recruit with passion, serve from the heart. Together we can. And let's make a great day. And even better, let's make a great day for somebody else. So, second, it's all about service. That's why people join. Serve it. We serve. That's our motto. Simple, to the point. It's exactly what we do. That's why people want to be able to join this organization. Everybody wants to. Let's get one big thing straight. The primary purpose of a lion or a Leo is service. That's the mission. That's the heartbeat. That's why we're here. We serve. And you know what? That's also how we're going to keep our members. That's how we're going to get new members, because service is why we join. Isn't that why you joined? To make a difference, to make an impact, to be a part of something bigger than yourself. But let me tell you something else. It's not just about serving, it's about enjoying the ride. You've got to have fun doing it. When people see us laughing and smiling and making memories while we're serving, they want in. They want to be a part of something good. Happy members won't leave. That kind of energy is magnetic. That's what draws people in. That's what builds a legacy. Service plus fun equals impact. Write that down. Put it down somewhere. Live it out. That's the formula. That's the fuel for success. Now, we just covered two unshakable truths about growth. Pillars you can build on, but now it's time to widen the lens up, because growth doesn't happen in a bubble, does it? The world we're growing into, it's changing. It's changing so fast. People's time is different. We don't have enough. Their schedules are packed full of things. The way they serve, it's evolving. And if we don't see that, if we don't adapt, if we don't change, then today's volunteers will keep walking right past us. Not because they don't care, but because we don't meet them where they are. So now we move from truth to proof. So let's dig into the members behind today's volunteer trends, what they're really telling us, and how we as Lions can use them to grow smarter and faster and with bold, unshakable confidence. Jody Burmeister, enlighten us and tell us about today's volunteers, okay?
All right, Lions and Leos, let's talk numbers. Because here's the deal. Current volunteer trends aren't just interesting, they are a growth tool. When we understand what today's volunteers are looking for, we can design everything around it. Projects that fit real schedules, roles people can say yes to quickly, service that's visible, meaningful, and easy to join. And here's the kicker. This just isn't about just better projects. This is about membership. Because when service fits people's lives, they show up. When they show up, they connect. When they connect, they come back. And when they come back, they join. So let's look at what's happening in volunteer trends right now and how we use that info to drive every single project and every single growth effort we touch. So check out these numbers. Recent national data shows that more than 75 million Americans formally volunteered between 2022 and 2023, the most recent data we could find. This is a significant increase from post-pandemic lows and one of the largest expansions ever recorded. So people are volunteering. But here's the twist. The amount of time they have available to commit to do volunteering has gone down a lot, dramatically even. That same Census Bureau data reveals that average annual hours per volunteer dropped roughly from 96.5 hours in 2017 to about 70 hours in 2023. This tells us something crucial. Volunteers aren't vanishing. They are volunteering in shorter, more flexible ways, not in long weekly commitments like the generations that came before. So we just saw the numbers. We know people are still volunteering, but here's the deal. They're not trying to sign up for a second unpaid job with a side of meetings that could have been an email. People are busy, schedules are chaotic, and burnout is real. And if volunteering feels confusing, time heavy, or like it doesn't go anywhere, people bounce. They just leave. Not because they don't care, because life is already full. So if we want more people raising their hands to volunteer with us, we've got to build volunteer roles that fit how people live today. Here's what volunteers right now are looking for. They're looking for flexibility with short time commitments or episodic roles. They're looking for purposeful, visible impact and personal fulfillment volunteer opportunities. They want these opportunities to be accessible. That means including virtual or remote roles. Because the reality is almost 20% of formal volunteers right now do some portion of their volunteering online, if not all of it. They're looking for something that's skills-based or project-focused rather than open-ended duties. And they want it to be well supported with clear onboarding, meaningful roles that match interests and how they live today. Paperless, e-payments, QR codes, whatever that might be for you. The broader volunteer trend landscape points towards three things: micro-volunteering, skills-based roles, and virtual engagement. All models that fit into the unpredictable schedules and provide quick results and tangible impact. Let's dig a little deeper into two key trends that are game changers for volunteering today. It's episodic and micro-volunteering. Let's start with episodic volunteering. Some of you may have heard of episodic volunteering before. It's been around for a while. And that's basically one-time or occasional service that's usually tied to a specific event or short project. And it's ideal for busy people who can't commit to an ongoing meeting or ongoing schedule. Their key traits: it's a periodic or one-off drop-in. It can be part of a larger calendar or campaign. It's typically higher impact, short-term service, and it's great for working professionals or parents. We've got some examples here of community meal packing blitz, a one-day park or waterway cleanup where you invite the community, pop-up vision screenings, service stories, telling sprint, whatever it might be. But when I think about this, what episodic volunteering really means to me is every service project we do, we should be inviting the entire community to come and join us and help and be able to participate and learn how amazing it feels to be able to serve and make a difference. That's what episodic volunteering is. Again, that one's been around for a while. But another trend takes it even further. It's micro-volunteering. So what is micro-volunteering? This is quick, low-commitment tasks that can be done anytime, often online, with no long-term role or training required. It's basically giving people a job that they're comfortable with, it matches their skill set, and they can do on their own time in a short period of time. It's task oriented, it's low barrier of entry, it's often, most of the time, it's digital or remote, and it's time flexible, about 5 to 30 minutes, nothing big. So, for example, if my club was hosting a pop-up kindness booth, someone dropping in and filling out cards for kids or kindness rocks or whatever we're doing at that booth. A 5-minute food access advocate where they go out and they post on behalf of our club about upcoming food drives that we're having and donation drives. A micro eco action challenge where you get people to go for a walk and clean up their neighborhood. I get glass collection micro host where you do it at your office for a day, or one post for good campaign where you get people out posting on behalf of your club to get more people sharing and passing along the message of service projects. So episodic volunteering and micro volunteering are two trends that we need to be in front of. But how the heck do we tap into them? Well, never fear, my friends. We have some tools and resources for you here as we move along. And this first one I want to talk about, and some of you may have seen these before, but at least one of them, but catchafire.com. And I'm going to drop these here in the chat for you, the links here in the chat for you here in just a second. I scrolled through things too fast. Catchafire.com is a website that is actually a place where professionals can go volunteer their skills for specific projects that you're looking for. So let's say you're looking for someone to help with a marketing campaign, or if you're looking for someone that might be able to help you draft a legal document or whatever the case might be. This is the place to go to connect with those professionals and get it done. You can look at people who put their ideas out there, or you can go ahead and put in what you're looking for. Define the project, how long it's going to last, and exactly what you're asking to be delivered. So you can go out and look for those volunteers to help you out. A great opportunity to get some episodic and professional help. If you're looking for volunteers, general volunteers to share volunteer opportunities, Volunteer Match is the largest volunteer matching platform in the world. There is an opportunity with them for you to either to be able to post a volunteer opportunity. Let's say you've got a giant event coming up, a giant service project, and you want to invite anyone to join you. You can go and put that out on Volunteer Match. Or if you're looking for specific skills in a specific location, you can go put that on Volunteer Match as well for just reaching out to volunteers. So those two items are in the chat. Don't worry about the items we're dropping in the chat. You received most of them yesterday. You'll get another email tomorrow that will have a link to the recording, along with all of the notes and all the things we dropped in the chat and the links for you, so you don't have to worry about picking those up today, right now. So those are some opportunities for you to reach out and tap into this trend of micro volunteering and episodic volunteering. I'm going to drop this into the chat one more time for you, just so you've got it, because I know their chat has been very active. All right, next up, let's talk about a little bit about what this all looks like when it comes to our clubs and how we currently operate. So we just covered episodic and micro volunteering, but the bigger point is that volunteers are still there. People didn't stop caring. Life got louder and schedules got messier. So the way they volunteer had to change. There was no other option for them. So when we have that knowledge and we know how we operate, we can start to connect those dots. If you look at the left-hand side of the slide on the screen right now, I'm guessing, go ahead and raise your hand, drop it in the chat. How many of your clubs look like this? A traditional model of volunteering, where you basically come and do what we do. We have weekly or monthly meetings at fixed days and times. We take attendance and we have formal roles and a long-term commitment. And service is defined by routine tasks. And it works great for those of us where our calendar is predictable. Now take a look at the right side. This is the modern model for volunteers and how it compares to how we currently operate for most of us. And it starts with a huge shift in mindset. The shift in mindset is we now are talking, instead of saying, come do what we do, we are reaching out and say, hey, what do you want to do? And it goes back to what we just talked about. It's project-based or episodic opportunities, hybrid and virtual options to participate, flexible time blocks. And instead of just filling a slot, we build the experience around outcomes. What does that mean? That means people want to see a positive impact from what they're doing. So we build the experience so they are successful and we as a whole are successful. And this fits right into it. People want to see the impact. They want to know that what they did, something changed because they showed up, because they did the project. So in recap, traditional says, fit into our rhythm. Modern says, we'll meet you where you are. This is the shift. And if we want to attract and keep today's volunteers, we've got to offer more of what's on that right-hand side of this slide than what's on the left-hand side. So I don't know if there was any quick questions in the chat about volunteer trends. I'll catch up with those while Brian takes over from here. So Brian, back to you, my friend.
Thank you, Jody. That is spot on. That is absolutely spot on. This isn't the same organization that we had from a year ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. It is different. The only thing consistent in life is change. And if you don't change along with life, you're going to be by the wayside. So let me ask you something. Are we building clubs that people want to be part of today, or clubs that make sense yesterday? This is a new world. I love your ideas there, Jody. I love that you have to be, what do you want to do? We have to listen to them. Because let me tell you, today's volunteers are looking for belonging. They are looking for impact. They are looking for energy. They don't want endless meetings and confusion. They don't want bickering. That's not why they joined. They joined to serve. That's why this Let's Grow series exists. It's not about theory. It's about tools in your hands. It's about action. We have to take action. It's about shifting culture through experience. We're going to. We're going to help existing clubs evolve so that new people walk in and they feel like they found their place. Isn't it great when you go somewhere and people introduce themselves and they talk to you? They don't just ignore you and they don't have those cliques around. Make them feel like they found their place. Teach you how to build brand new clubs that meet people right where they are, in rhythm, in purpose, and in passion. And we're not choosing between the two. We're going to do both because we're not here just to maintain what we have. We're here to multiply. So let's break it down. So in session 1 of this series, it's about knowing the process. It's about knowing your options. We don't need cookie cutter clubs. We need clubs that fit the community. What does your community need? What are their strengths? What are you lacking? Session 2 in a couple of weeks is going to be recruiting like it matters, because it does. You do have to recruit the right people. You want to recruit those that have passion like you. It's not about the numbers. It's about quality of membership. It's about quality like what you have. Every new Lion means that we're going to have more service, and that's why they join. Session 3 is going to be about marketing, not just flyers and logos, but real connection, real messaging, real impact. That's what we're going to be talking about. In session number 4, this is where we pull everything together. Clubs, and we're going to have you do things between each session too. Club setup, and more importantly, how to keep growing. We're not just planting seeds here. We're planting a garden that keeps blooming year after year after year, leader after leader after leader, ideas after ideas after ideas. Together, we can create clubs that people not only join, but they stay in and invite their friends too. They're making the commitment. They want to serve. Let them do it. And that's how you grow Lions. That's how you grow impact. And that, my friends, is how you change the world. So let's go. Let's grow. I can tell by the attendance that we've got here, people are passionate about this. They want to see a difference. And let's make every session count, because when we grow, we serve. When we serve, we lead with love. And that is absolutely certifiably often. So we need to build new clubs, rejuvenate and evolve the ones we currently have. And here's the best part. This is not an either or conversation. We can evolve existing clubs and we can start new ones at the same time. Imagine that. We can do both. All right, Lions. It's time to stop talking about growth and start moving through it. This moment right here, this is a launch pad. This is what we're going to talk about. This is where we go from barriers to bold moves. This is our action plan. We're not here to complain. That's water under the bridge. If you've had bad experiences, that's done. Let's find solutions to get over them, okay? We're here to get unstuck. Unstuck is the word of the day. Because once you name the real barrier, once you name what is stopping you from growing, what is stopping your club from growing, that's the one thing that's slowing you down. You're not spinning your wheels anymore. No more guessing, no more wishing. You start making smart, targeted moves that work when you find out what's slowing you down. So here's the challenge, okay? I want you, number one, identify the number one thing that is standing in your way. What's the number one thing from stopping you to grow? Second, we want to brainstorm. Once you identify what's standing in your way, then we want to brainstorm real, doable solutions with it. It doesn't help to complain about it. It doesn't help to get stuck on it. Let's find the solution so we can move on. And then we can commit. I want you all to commit to testing one of those ideas before the end of January. Now, this is going to be a 30-minute of action mode. I want your cameras on. We have moderators that will be in the room. You're going to have 30 minutes to talk about what your challenge is, talk about solutions, and what you're going to do by the end of July. One thing, stay focused, because what you choose to do next could change the future of your club. What you decide to do next could change the future of your district and someone's entire life of service. It only takes one. At the end, we want to know, what's the bold move that you're going to test, not only test, but you're going to do. So let's break you people up into rooms. We got moderators in rooms. Share. Come up with solutions. Everybody, please share and partake in this. Turn your cameras on and have fun. Above all, have fun. Let's break them into rooms, Jody and Winston.
Awesome. All right, let's go to the next step here, which is talking about how are we going to do this? We know about the volunteer trends now. We know what we need to do. We've now, each of us, identified a barrier and one quick thing we can do to help positively impact that barrier right now. So let's lock this in. This is going to be our mantra. Our mantra is this: evolve what you can, build what you need. Evolve what you can, build what you need. Really, that's the whole growth game right there. There's no arguing about the right way, no waiting for perfect. We grow service by using the path that fits our needs. And like Brian said, we're not going to reinvent this wheel. Lions International has the resources. The problem is there's so many resources you can get stuck trying to find the right one, right? So we made it easy. There's 2 paths, and we've selected 2 tools for each path, over and done with. And no, we're not going to read the manuals or web pages at you. We're going to use these tools as the basis. And we're going to assume literacy, that you guys can read those and go through the manuals and figure out the process, because they're very explicit on step by step. But what we're going to do here is help you turn them into action. So this is the first half of that action, and it's how we're going to evolve existing club culture. And I'm going to drop in the chat here for you very quickly a couple of items so I can just go through and keep talking to you instead of worrying about the chat. So these are the support documents. Again, these support materials were sent out to you yesterday if you were registered at that point, and they'll be coming back out tomorrow along with a link for the recording. But here's how we're going to evolve our existing culture and what it looks like in real life. So when you evolve, you make meetings optional, not the cover charge. If someone wants to serve, don't make them earn it. Second up, we're going to make service first and social second. Hear that again. Service first, social second. Fellowship is awesome, but purpose is what brings people in and keeps them coming back. We're going to go electronic. And I know this makes some of you really freaks you out, but QR codes, electronic payment, digital agendas make Lions feel like it's 2026, not 1986. More and more people don't have checks. How are they supposed to pay their dues or make donations to you if you don't accept electronic payments? Oh, sorry, Jody, almost went down a path there for a moment, so we'll rein it back in, but let's get back on the schedule here. But here's another huge change in how we think. Show up when it matters. We're after impact, not attendance awards. For so many years, we had 100% attendance awards, and some clubs still use those. And it's not about showing up just to show up. It's about showing up and doing the service that needs to be done. That's a huge shift for many of our clubs. And then the other big piece is this. We touched on it earlier. We've got to start welcoming event-based volunteers. If they can serve once, they belong. Period. End of story. Whether they become a member or not, or they're just an ongoing volunteer for you that eventually transitions, all right, who cares? We've got more volunteers getting the job done and being able to serve. So as we look at those items, some of them are going to be harder for us than others, but none of them are that difficult to enact if you can get your club on board. As we mentioned, you're not doing this alone. The two anchors that we've given you for this path are this. Lions Clubs International recently came out with a brand new club rebuilding learning path. This is a Lions Learning Center course that you access, but you have to email clubstatus@lionsclubs.org to get accessed. It is full of practical tips and step-by-step built for real clubs with real constraints. So you've got the workbook in the chat. When you register for this event or for this path, just be aware it goes through and it helps you work through the process. So it gives you assignment 1, go do this. You go do that, you come back, you report, and then they give you assignment 2. So it's a very different way of looking at the Learn courses and the Learn path that we've got in the Learn Center. The other piece is the Global Membership Approach webpage. It's a clear framework so you know what to do first, next, and next without guessing. So that's our overview of what we're going to do to evolve our existing club culture. More details throughout the rest of the series. So now let's talk some reality. Some clubs are going to evolve and some won't. And that's okay. But if a club doesn't want to change and evolve, the mission still has to grow. If there's an opportunity for more clubs to reach more people the way they want to serve, then we still have to grow clubs. So the second half of this philosophy is build what you need. And that's where we're headed next. So evolve what you can, build what you need. We covered evolve, making these existing clubs easier to join, easier to love, and easier to serve with. Sometimes the barrier that we've got isn't that your club needs tweaks. Sometimes that barrier is the kind of club you have isn't the kind of club your community currently needs. So path 2 is simple. We're going to start new clubs. Not because anything is wrong with the old ones necessarily, but because we need more doors into Lions, more opportunities to serve and meet the needs that are out there. And before anyone overthinks it, starting a new club doesn't mean starting from zero either. It means starting with intention. You can see in the bullets here some ideas. Think about cause-based clubs. We're going to have a success story later that's going to talk about specifically a whole philosophy about that. Mental health, youth, diabetes, environment. People rally around causes, and a club built around a cause makes joining feel obvious. We can look at digital first branches or pop-up teams. Some people can't commit to these meeting schedules, but they will absolutely show up online, say yes fast, and serve when a project is clear and aligns with what they're looking for. And these pop-up teams, this concept of a pop-up teams is a perfect opportunity for you to test interest and build momentum and get excitement to get people volunteering and make a difference. Weekend warriors, we're going to talk more about them in a moment, but the point is simple. If your meeting time, project time, and expectations only work for retirees with open calendars, we are leaving the majority of the population of volunteers out. So a new club lets you build a schedule and service model that fits for weekend warriors working weekend warriors, working professionals, and families from day one. We need to align the club identity with lifestyle and values. This is huge. Reiterate this again. People join what feels like them and what makes them comfortable. They're going to have the same Lions mission, but their club experience is going to match the group you're trying to reach, and it's going to be set for their needs, not necessarily the needs that our current and our traditional clubs have. And the last piece on this one is to leverage connections. Using the join together or emerging leaders model, there's shortcuts and easy ways to bring people in to help find you the people that are already leaning towards service and leadership and help them become Lions. So just like Path 1, we are not sending you out into the resource library with a flashlight and a prayer. We have some resources for you. We have the Start a New Club page on the Lions Clubs International website. I'm dropping that into the chat right now. And I'm going to drop the workbook for the new club development guide into the chat as well. So those two pieces will help you find what you need to do to get the clubs to start a new club. You'll be able to find those quickly and easily. Again, they'll be in the follow-up email we send out after the session or tomorrow, and you should have received it yesterday as well. So let's connect these two concepts of, and if an existing club evolves, that is amazing because it creates a space for new members to plug into what's already there and help the club continue to exist and continue to serve. But if an existing club doesn't want to evolve, that's okay. The mission doesn't have to stop because they don't want to change. So we build these new clubs to fit the new volunteers, the volunteers of today. And that's how we win without fighting about it. Evolve what we can, build what you need. More opportunities, more Lions, more service. Period. End of story, Brian. So much fun, so much content. More to come.
There is a lot there. There's a lot there. Again, steal what you need to. So let's talk about options, friends. Because in 2026, the idea that every club should look the same, that's out the window. Throw that box away. Get rid of the damn box. We're re-imaging what Lions clubs can look like. And this is right here is your menu of momentum. Because if we want to grow, we need to give people spaces that fit their lives, it fits their passion, it fits their pace. So let's break it down. I'm going to start in the bottom right-hand corner here. I want to talk about campus clubs. Students, staff, academics, who want to serve where they study. Again, start with 20, but just make sure you get 5 of them are students. These clubs bring Lions service right into the heart of learning. They want to serve more than anybody else. Leo Lions clubs, young, energy, big vision. We got to do something with our Leos. We have tons and tons of Leos out there, and they don't transition into Leo Lions clubs. Start up young-based clubs, past Leos, and get them to be a Leo Lion club. It's their peers. It's what they're used to doing. So members under 36 chartered with 20 members, 10 of them, again, have to be at least a former Leo in those clubs. Club branches, the fast option. Just 5 people. It can spark a movement here. It's great for like specialty causes on neighbors or neighborhoods that need a little love. You run your own show under a parent club. Want to stay a branch forever? Sure, go ahead. You got it. But personally, I prefer you build it into its own club. Give them pride, give them ownership. You know, I've seen huge clubs in India that have multiple branch clubs. They have a cricket club branch. They have a business network branch. They have a veterans branch. They have a senior housing branch. You can create branches from your own club that you have, but give them that individuality. Now let me talk about traditional clubs. The OGpers. Flexible, proven, powerful, traditional. Whether in person, virtual, or maybe a hybrid of both, it doesn't matter. Traditional clubs, they take a while to start up. I want to talk about specialty clubs. Specialty clubs, every community seems to have clubs. Let's build them with specialty clubs. This format is perfect for serving big, launching new projects, and doing things your way. Start with 20 members and build your legacy, but build clubs that are based on the specialty. Build clubs on where people have the same need. They're going to stick around a lot longer. Now, here's the magic. There's no right club type. It doesn't matter. There's only the right fit for people that you want to reach. So ask yourself, what does the community need? Who's not being reached right now? Where is there a need? What's the easiest way to say yes to somebody that's new? Because when we offer more doors, we're going to welcome more lions in. And more lions means more love in action, period. Let's get out there. Let's build bold and grow clubs that feel like home for people we haven't met yet. Together we can. You have to feel a part of it. So now let me tell you something beautiful about today's Lions clubs. We're not in the business of boxes. We're in the business of belonging. And that means meeting people where they are. Look at this graphic. It's not just colors and pretty shapes. It's a blueprint for connections. You can meet either in person, for those that love face-to-face energy. I love doing things in person. Don't always have the time for it. I love the hugs. I love the coffee. I love rolling up our sleeves together. You can also meet virtually for business professionals. I don't have time to hit meetings anymore. People don't want to go to meetings. Parents, people across miles who still want to be able to serve. And you can have a hybrid, the best of both worlds, flexible, accessible, and inclusive. Don't keep yourself in that box. That's not just a logistic choice. That's accessibility. That's relevance. That's what today's volunteers are looking for. They're looking for choices. And when it comes to specialty clubs, hold on to your hats, because now we're talking pure purpose, cause-based clubs, whether it's hunger, the environment, veterans, mental health. You gather around what you care about most. Profession or education, teachers, first responders. There's so many. Sports or hobby. I get excited. Runners, bikers, gamers, gardeners. You serve through what you love. Culture-based, multilingual, multicultural, communities that are spread out, that want to lead through service. Maybe different life stages that we have. Young professionals, empty nesters, moms, retire. We have a whole group of Bird Island Lions that had quit because they were too busy. Bring them back in. Bring them as a branch. Groups who get where they are in life. And here's the magic sauce, you guys. You get to create what fits. There is no wrong way to be a lion. There's only your way, on purpose, with people who share your passion. So let's stop asking, do you want to join a club? And start asking, what do you care about? How can we build a club around what you care about? That's how we grow. That's how we lead. And that's how we make someone say, I have been waiting for this. Where have you been my whole life? Let's grow with intention. Let's build for belonging. And again, let's do it together. We got to be able to do this together. So join together clubs. Now this is one of the boldest rules.
Brian. Remember the last minute Hillary gave us an amazing video. We've got to share this video on.
Oh yeah.
Because it's amazing. So hold on and hold that join together club thought for just a moment here.
This is a great video. There's so many resources out there.
1, 2,
Oh, sorry.
3, go!
We're doing service projects on top of the racing, which we didn't have that before.
We started our Nepalese cultural class through the help of the Lions Club.
First responders have always been about service and about sacrifice.
The main purpose of our club is to support the athletes and their families.
Our focus is diabetes.
21 members all fighting for the same cause.
이렇게 학생들을 가르치면서 같이 함께 봉사활동을 하는 것이 가장 큰 의미가 있다고 생각합니다.
Being a lion is very good. You feel happy when you give back.
The Lions community has given me many mentors.
Friendship and leadership skills,
Networking opportunities,
excellent tools, training resources, expert people. Anything that you want is right there.
We may not be a typical Lions club, but we are a specialty club and we are Lions.
LCI is ready to embrace everybody. We need to open the door and go and ask.
Brian, I am dropping the link to that video in the chat right now. This literally was added just in the last day or so. You will be getting this link again before in the follow-up email tomorrow. And I'm also going to drop in, last year during the workshops, we generated 80 plus, the attendees generated 80 plus different ideas on what it different specialty club ideas to spark your thoughts. So that's in the chat as well. Back to you, Brian.
Thank you, Jody. That is a great video. That is an absolute great video. Share it, use it, do what we need to. Okay, now this just in. This is one of the boldest moves we've made in re-imaging what growth can look like. It's called a Join Together Clubs. You can find out information on this on the website, are where Lions meet local nonprofits and together, nonprofits that are already out there, you guys, they're all over. Together, we explode the impact. We're not just starting clubs from scratch. These are nonprofits that are already established, have a cause, have a purpose. We're partnering with 501c3s who have already have the passion, the mission, and the community already. What they don't have is the global reach, leadership training, worldwide family that comes with being a Lion, maybe insurance. There's a lot of things that we offer, but now they can have both. And that's a game changer. These are popping up all over the place, you guys. It's an easy start because they already have purpose. It's mission driven. They're already serving. They want to do more. They want to go further. They want to build stronger volunteer. This is it. Here's how it works. First of all, you find a nonprofit that's been around for 3+ years and is IRS compliant. Launch a club, 15 members, or a branch, 5 members. Pay one flat charter fee, $300. That's it. No individual entrance fees. We've started up a number of these. Each member just pays a standard LCI dues. No surprises, no fluff, nothing. And boom, your Lions family just grew with a powerhouse of volunteers, purpose and potential. But listen, this is important. There's a strict approval process. Dig into it. Most rejections happen because groups skip that IRS compliance and haven't filed properly. So do your homework, do it right, and you're going to unlock one of the most powerful partnerships we have in our movement. Because when you join together, you align with shared values, you strengthen volunteer infrastructure, you increase transparency and community trust, and you expand local as well as a global impact. So imagine the possibilities, you guys. One nonprofit, one Lions Club, double the love, double the service, join them together. Let's go find these partners. Let's grow together and let's show the world what happens when two missions unite with one heart. There's great stories. We're going to have these in some of the other sessions as well. So let's roar together. Jody?
Yeah. Hey, Brian, just one last thing on Join Together Clubs. There's a key point in the bottom right of that. If you are going to start a Join Together Club, please, 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 please do your research. Many of these clubs are denied initially because there's a lot of technical details that need to be taken care of from a legal standpoint and everything else. So reach out to membership@lionsclubs.org for more info. On the slide, there's a picture QR code, and that leads you to Jay Norby is our guru when it comes to these clubs. And he did a recording for us on how to create a Join Together club. So do your homework before you jump down that path because they're a great opportunity, especially when done right. Awesome. Thank you, Brian. I love specialty clubs. They're amazing. All right, next up, take a look at this slide. This slide is a whole new way to look at how we're growing clubs. You know, LCI and the official materials you're going to look at in the Start a Club Guide has a 4-step process. But when I look at that 4 steps, I know there's more to it. And wanted to make sure you had a piece that helped you understand how to grow a club step by step, what phases it takes, and who's responsible. So for taking the lead on these different areas. So what we've done is create this new look. And also, literally hot off the presses, is a brand new checklist for how you start clubs. I'm dropping it in the chat. You will get this again as part of the follow-up email, along with the slides and everything else. So we're talking through, number one, you need to build your team. Number two, you have to identify and rank the opportunities that are out there that you're looking at. Number three, develop and create a plan for each of the opportunities. You're going to be able to duplicate some things, but every community, every club is slightly different. So you're going to need to adapt and come up with a plan that's going to work for the type of club, the people you're trying to recruit, who your target audience is, and to be able to build it out from there. Next up, you need to reach out to the influencers. Who are the influencers? I'm not talking about online influencers. Every community has those people that are influential in your town. It is the mayor, it is the city councilman, it's the school board, it's whomever it might be in your area. You need to reach out to them, invite them to a round table, and have a conversation about the needs in the community, where you then talk through how Lions can help meet that need. Working together as a team, you then can work to build out from there to get to step number 5, which is public relations, marketing, and recruiting, all working together side by side. Next up, we go to, and we're starting a transition. You'll see here that all the items in the top, the first 4 are all red, right? Number 5 starts to change colors, and number 6 changes colors again, because that's when you're starting to transition. As things go and you start to recruit these founding members, you need to turn the club over to them as soon as possible, so they take ownership. It's their club. You are now there from being the driving force to the supporting force. And quite honestly, the biggest challenge I see in districts right now and working with them to start clubs is they don't turn over the reins to the new members soon enough. They assume they have to go through the whole process being in charge. And with that, that's the organizers club, not the new clubs club, the founders club. So we'll get from 5 PR, marketing, and recruiting. We're going to move on to the 6th step. And instead of inviting them to some meeting, you're going to create a service project or have a community open house that allows them to do pop-up service, that microservice projects we were talking about earlier, where they can pop in, do service projects, and learn more about volunteering as Lions. Next up, again, we're now moving fully into the club, the new club members taking over, those founders taking over leadership with the support of the Certified Guiding Lion and that growth team. We're going to let the founders get their club organized. Then we're going to go through number 8. We're going to club setup and the charter application process. Number 9, we're going to keep growing, and we're going to do that through service and fun. This process is just realigning in different names to have all the pieces there. The pieces I dropped in the chat, I'm going to drop them there again, this 9-step club start or evolve checklist is aligned to these 9 pieces, these 9 phases. And it breaks it out by role, which we're going to talk about next because we're going to build our team. But this is a way for us to move forward in a clean, concise way to understand what direction you need to go to actually start a club. With that, Brian, guess what? I think you're going to talk to us a little bit about growth teams and how to build a team.
And we'll go through this very quickly. You know, we got to be clear here. Growth is not a solo act. It's a team effort. We can't do it. We can do it alone, but it's so much better when you have multiple. It's not about one superhero doing it all. It's about a team. It's about a crew. It's about a pride of Lions working together to bring the mission to life. And when each person leans into their own lane, magic happens. It takes a big team to help with membership growth. You have a project manager. This is your GPS. This is so you don't get lost. This member or members kind of sets the course. It tracks the progress and makes sure that nobody misses a turn. They keep us aligned. They keep us focused. Marketing team. You got to have a marketing team. These team members are the storytellers, the spark makers. They build the buzz, the spread the word, light the match, flyers and press. They make your club visible and irresistible. Recruiting team. These are the heart openers, the conversation starters. They reach out, follow up, Bring the human connection that makes people feel seen and make them feel welcome. Then you have these event coordinators. You have different roles for different people. These lions create the experience. They handle the where, the when, the what, the how. It's all about making people feel included. Then you have admin and communication. Yeah, we got some paperwork we need to do. The behind the scene heroes, they track the details, send the reminders. And here's the thing. Every one of these roles matters. This isn't about titles. It's about teamwork. It's about what you get done. It's about giving people a way to contribute using their natural strengths. And when this happens, growth becomes unstoppable because when everybody shows up, clubs get launched faster. You can get multiple teams out there in a district. You don't need just one team. Meetings are full of energy. Emails get answered. Flyers get shared. We build our team. We define the roles with a team. Share the load. And let's grow together because together we can do it. So let me tell you something loud and clear. You're never meant to grow alone. Growth is a team sport. And the team, it's bigger than you think. Take a look at this slide, building your team. And the team, it's bigger than you think. This is your all-star lineup. You've got support from the club. You got support from the district and even outside alleys if you ask for it and you activate it. Now, here's the mic drop moment. You're about to hear from Vince Leone, a sitting district governor from multiple District 1 who didn't just hope for growth. He built the system to make it happen. He built it. It's like Bert. He built it his way and it's working. So even if you're sitting in a small club right now thinking that's great for districts, but not for us, let me stop you right there. This model scales, big district or small club. It's the same formula. Clarity, teamwork, consistent action. So as Vince steps in, I want you all to lean forward and make attention, take notes, get inspired, and ask yourself, who's on your team and who else needs to be? Here's Vince. Vince?
Sorry about that. Thanks, Brian. Jody, do you have the slides up or no?
Vince, no, sorry. Oh my God, now I'm having heart palpitations. Live events and the way the day has gone today. Sorry, Vince.
No, that's okay. I'll go ahead and start while you bring up the slides. One of the things we did as a district is we took a step back a year before I became governor and really looked at where we're at as a district. What are we doing? What are we doing right? And what are we doing wrong? But really, we had to ascertain where we were at as a district. So one of the things we did was a normal SWOT analysis, but we went one step further. We did a 360 look at what we do well and what we don't do well, and had the clubs tell us what we do well and what we don't do well. The other thing we did is we looked at the other districts around us and grabbed ideas from them. For example, out of 1A, it's celebration. Out of J, the unit and working as a group, and then BK as leadership training and so forth. So really took a look and started off with a group of us. Now we created a focus team to really look at how do we do things. Then what we did is we tried to set a team environment. And I looked at my year as the governor's team. So each one of us had a role, but we all worked together. So it didn't matter who was there and who was doing something. They had as much authority as the district governor. For example, my first vice district governor, Sejan's really good on service and communicating service. My second vice district governor is very good at Leos and creating Leo teams and Cub teams. So we utilized all of our strengths and our weaknesses to help build a better team. The next thing we did was open communication. We shared everything. Anything and everything was shared with everybody, so they knew exactly what was going on. There was no rumor mill per se, because they knew exactly what was going on. And we got everybody involved when we set our district goals. So everybody had a say and knew what the district goals were 6 months before we actually took office and before we started getting rolling. I cannot stress this enough, but plan. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure you have a agenda, because it saves on a lot of problems and issue that goes on. Who am I going to the next slide, please, Jody? Next one is be able to do leadership meetings. We try to meet once a month on the governor's team with several of the zone chairs and several of the groups. And then we try to do socials with the complete executive team and all of the zone chairs and so forth, so that we get a chance to meet socially and be able to talk about problems that are an issue or just talk about life in general. Servant leadership is really important. Pick up that phone, call the clubs, ask them, how are you doing? What's going on? How are you doing? Is there a problem? Is there an issue? I noticed you haven't done service reporting. Do you mind if you're near your computer? Let's sit down and we'll try to do these together. And our service reporting went from in the 60s to the 80s, and my goal is to be in the 90s. So I still got a few clubs we're working with. Stay focused on what your goal is. Here's the goal, and try to make adjustments as you go along and celebrate those achievements. We've had a Christmas party, the first one the district's had as a group, and we celebrated. We're plus 42 members, which is outstanding. We've hit our mission 1.5 goal. Our service reporting is in the mid 80s. We're doing things correctly, and we're celebrating those items. Mind going to the last slide?
Vince, this is the last one I've got for you.
Well, the big one here is everybody knew what the goals were. Everybody looks at it, and we record that. We look at the goals on a daily basis. And even now, even though we're having success, I still reach out to different items. Like, for example, I was out in California this week and talk with them and asking them, how their successes and what they're doing right and how they're building their clubs. There are no surprises when we sit down and look at our problems. But the biggest thing in all is working as a team. Everybody knows what's going on, who's doing what, and they have an objective. And that's the biggest thing in the world, is working as a team. Anybody got any questions? As far as the district's concerned, we're plus 42, which is incredible. Our service reporting, we've already set we beat our goal, which was to meet last year's. We have exceeded last year's complete year in the first 6 months. We've beat in recorded hours. We've beat it in people served, and the clubs are growing. The other thing is with other areas that we've improved on, which is the zone chairman. We have clubs that have never grew. We had 8 zone chairs that went up to Fox Lake, did one of the service project. They added 4 new members. We had a club that was ready to collapse. They've added 3 new members because we sat down and worked with them and got them back to doing the basics. It's all working as a team and all with the same objectives.
That is such a great point, and so many great points in there. And there's some questions in the chat about, if this is for just district governors and everything, and it's really not. This is for everyone. When you look at team building, it doesn't matter if you're at the club level, the district level, or international level. Building those teams, assigning people to the roles, and managing the teams with clear communication. I mean, I look at what you guys have done, Vince, and it's like, it is the team building. You brought them on from day one. You work together to build the plan. You're all working the plan, and there's clear communication, not only with your team, but you have clear communication with every member in your district. So think about this from a club level. If you did this and had the clear communication with every member of your club, or the district level with every member of your district, that changes everything. It takes everyone being on board to make this happen. So Vince, thank you for sharing that story with us. You are doing a fantastic job. Keep up the great work. We are excited to see where you end up at the end of the year.
We're working hard to continue on. We've met our goals now, and we've set some new goals to go to the next level.
That's fantastic. Awesome. Vince, thank you so much. We are going to move on, and let's talk about the last piece we're going to cover tonight, which is, let me see if I can get my screen share back on, which is really to talk about site selection. And we're going to have a success story, as I mentioned, following up on this. But, when you look at how do I find a club and where do I find clubs? You've got to start looking at and analyzing what the opportunities are. And you're looking at population, project possibilities, current clubs and other organizations in the area, not just Lions, but beyond Lions. People not already being recruited. There is huge populations out there that want to serve and they're not being recruited right now. Locations of other Lions clubs take into consideration, and also groups that are underrepresented. Making sure that your clubs and the clubs that you have represent the demographics of your community is really important. You need to take a look at a community needs assessment, understanding what those needs are. We were talking about it earlier with having a meeting with those key influencers in communities, sitting down and talking one-on-one or in a group. So look at your government agencies, what the needs are. Talk to service agencies. In many communities, either local government agencies, the United Way, or even some churches are running these community needs assessments. So reach out, have a conversation, see if they'll share the information, see if you can partner up to make a difference together in your community. Lions International also has community needs assessment. I believe that is referenced in the guidebook we shared with you. Some other places to get some ideas from. Nextdoor. Nextdoor is an online platform that allows neighbors to talk to their neighbors in their communities. It's almost a little bit of a mini Facebook for your community, where it's just your community members talking amongst each other. Go check out those communities you're looking to join or start a club in. Learn what's going on. Hear what they're asking. Ask them questions on the chat. Say, hey, what are you looking at? Where are the needs in your community and how would you like to help? Wikipedia and the US Census are always fantastic sources to get data and statistics. That's the old school way of doing things. These are all things we need to know as we're building clubs. But if you want to save time and get a more thorough answer, you can go to the apps, to the ChatGPT AI apps. And on the screen, you're going to see it's Map to Grow that we're focusing on. And a couple of things for you to note on Map to Grow. First of all, let me drop the link in the chat in case those of you who'd like to play in the chat while we're going along have that for you. There's that. But I'm also going to drop something that is literally hot off the presses. As I was sitting around this afternoon around 4 o'clock, I realized it would be very helpful if I gave you a bunch of prompts, some simple prompts to get started on what to ask Map to Grow to be able to create your action plan, find target audiences, where your opportunities are, set up projects, outreach, everything else. So in that piece I just put in there, the Map to Grow prompts, there's prompts to help you whether you're starting a new club or whether you're evolving an existing club. Take a look at that. We'll play with it more as we move forward. All right, next up is a key component of helping us think differently. Think outside the box, as our friend Brian says. And that's, what do these clubs look like? I can't even envision what it might look like. So let's take a look at what service first clubs for busy lives might look like. So if you're in an existing club, this is not about blowing it up. This is about adding a new lane to create a lighter, easier entry point for people who want to serve but can't commit to our traditional rhythms. If you're starting a new club, these examples are a blueprint for you that you can build the club around the schedules and lifestyles of the people you're trying to reach, so joining feels natural instead of complicated. So take a look at this. Weekend Warriors. You have a project once a month and you do a Saturday service sprint where you do park cleanup and food packing or community drives of some sort. It's a one and done project. Serve hard, wrap up, go live the rest of your life. You can tie them to seasonal hits like back to school, holiday baskets, winter coats, or spring cleanups. What a great opportunity to bring people in. And this could be a family-based club where you bring families volunteering together. All right, let's look at some ideas that might work for working professionals. What if you create an after-work microservice where you have a 60 to 90-minute session on a weeknight and you do a project? Bring in an agency, help them organize a project, go out and get it done. You could do a lunch break Lions where you have a quick workplace-friendly service project once a month over lunch hour. You could have a serve and social happy hour style piece where you have an impact project first and a social connection afterwards. If you're looking on the family level, create family service days with kid-friendly projects, book snack gardens, playground refresh, a stroller's welcome service. This could be done during the weekday when you have people that are home with their kids looking for projects to do. Make sure it's available to parents, caregivers, and bring those kids along. Strollers welcome. And then last, tie into families where they already are. Family life is very busy these days. So get involved with the schools, sports, or community events where you can do a project along with the event going on, similar to that motorbike club that we saw in the example. These are just some ideas to get you thinking outside of the box. Map to Grow that I just showed you a few moments ago is a great place to take one of these ideas and say, hey, I want to create a lunch break Lions Club in a workplace, in my own workplace. I drop it in that into the Map to Grow and I say, hey, I work at this company in this city. Help me get this done. Who are some partners? What are some projects that would be appropriate? And you're able to build it out from there. So these tools are there and available for you. And we hope you take advantage of them because we need more people to step up and we need this to work. So this is a lead in to a really amazing human. And let me stop sharing my screen. It's time to talk to Hillary. Hillary Cumnick comes from MD23 Connecticut. And they have built a team over there that's been starting new clubs designed for today's volunteers. And they've shifted the culture of growth so it's everyone's job. Hillary, can you tell us more about how you did that and help inspire the rest of us to live up to what it is you guys are doing over there? And I'm going to bring you up on screen here. Sorry, talking and not, there you are. Hey, that looks like Hillary. Hillary, take it away.
I am unmuting per the host directions. And thank you, Jody. Thank you, Brian. Good job, Vince. And that video used the phrase revolutionizing club development going forward. And I think that's what we're all about here. Connecticut 23Cs, my district, recent decade of success in new club development was rooted actually in failure. In 2010, we had worked very, very hard to establish a club in Cromwell, Connecticut. And we had it. We went through the informational session, the organizational session, and we let it slip away for a number of reasons. But all was not lost. We learned a great deal from the experience, which later and ultimately brought us forward. We had intervention by Lions International in 2015 because after 5+ years in 23C, we had no new clubs. So LCI unilaterally appointed a new club development specialist to 23C, and I drew the short straw and was assigned as his host. So we researched for many days. There was no AI then, Jody, and settled on Ellington, Connecticut. And our team formed that first club 10 years ago in 2015 and 16. And little did we know that our club development journey had begun. So the success story really revolves around 10 years in which the 10 past years where 23C has organized now 13 new clubs. The first 5 years, our teams targeted community-based clubs. The latest 5 years, it has been 80% specialty clubs. And 12 of those 13 clubs, aside from one problematic club removed by LCI Legal for nothing to do with the district, but 12 of those clubs are actively serving right now. And several of those new clubs are among our most active. One of them, Portland, graced us with not one, but 2 district governors. All the new clubs, without exception, are considerably more diverse than older clubs, whether it's gender, age, ethnicity. All have added incredible value with that diversity to our district. After developing community-based clubs, we then welcomed a virtual club. What has followed has been a nice run of specialty clubs. We welcomed 5 new clubs in 24-25, for instance, and had our mental wellness club chartered during just this past October's Mental Wellness Week of Service. 23C has 2 more clubs approaching their successful formation. One, very cool, an environmentally based club primarily consisting of Connecticut River and Long Island Sound boaters. And of those 2 clubs in the application phase, essentially, we've got, I think, 10 or 12 members for each of them already. And we're going to be wrapping that up in weeks, not months. We have been fortunate to have willing teams, as Vince said, in place, as well as capable team leaders. Breakout Room 23's Michelle Wyatt, who's with us this evening, took over as the primary catalyst for 23C, capably sharing what she's learned, and like her predecessors, is continuing to mentor many others on her teams. Our districts are really only limited by how many new clubs can be suitably supported at one time, whether it is finding guiding lions, which is sometimes a challenge, administration of new clubs. If you get a bunch of new clubs all at once, it can be tough. Officer training for those clubs, mobilizing and organizing teams. However, Governor Jim Tripp recently stated that here in 23C, we've only scratched the surface, because we've concluded that there are truly endless possibilities for specialty clubs. And we're finding that they're easier and easier to create and quicker to create. Two of our clubs, the Mental Wellness Club and the Veterans Club, for instance, just took a few weeks. And the Mental Wellness Club, we derived 100% of the information from AI, from Lions Virtual. So please use the tools that we're talking about. So 10 years after our hiccup that I discussed earlier in Cromwell, and on the very eve of the COVID pandemic in early 2020, we celebrated a new Cromwell club. And today it is healthy, growing, and thriving. So that's the beauty of this, is we went back around and we found it even easier to found that club. So leadership, teamwork, willingness, and especially action. So many times we see, whether it's at the summit or at meetings that I attend, there's a lot of planning going on, but maybe not as much action as there needs to be. And their failure is part of the process. You've got to accept that, and you've got to move on from it, because it's always darkest just before the dawn, I found in club development. So again, Michelle, keep up the great work for us in 23C, and we're here ready, willing, and able to lend our expertise in 23C to anybody who needs it. Thank you very much, Jody.
Hillary, thank you for sharing that story. There's so much we can unpack from that. The ability, and it all started with a team, just like you said. It is about teamwork and then working the plan and being aware and having your eyes open and having the right mentality. Changing that culture is so much a part of it. So Hillary, thank you. Thank you to everyone in Connecticut who's made this all possible. It is a huge inspiration to all of us. So thanks, my friend.
Hillary, you guys are on fire. And it's great to see some of these districts that are coming around and starting up this fire again. So let's everybody give it up for Hillary, give it up for Vince. Everybody give it up for yourselves. Today was packed with action, with real talk and tools, and you can take that back. You can use it tonight. You can work through the night and do it, or you can wait till tomorrow. Whether you were on the screen, behind the scenes, or simply soaking it all in, you made this awesome. And that's a fact, Jack. I see the movement coming. But don't pack up your passion just yet, because we're not done. Our next stop, January 20th. And we're going to get more licenses so we can get more people on here to share too. It's the recruiting session like you've never seen before. We're dropping new tools, sharing real results from your growth barrier test, and giving you the chance to bring your toughest questions to 3 of CA1's top recruiters live. We're going to dive into what's working right now, how to recruit episodic and micro volunteers like we talked about today, how to guide them into becoming full-powered Lions. And hey, remember your assignment. Don't forget, you committed to testing one solution to your top growth barrier in the next 30 days by the end of January. Not 10 things, not someday, just one bold move tested on purpose by the end of January. And we're going to hold each other to it. So when we open our next session, you better come ready to share what you tried, what worked, what flopped, and what fired you up. Also, check your inbox tomorrow. The session recording is going to be there. All the slides and materials, a super quick way to give us feedback. There will be an evaluation. We want to hear from you. We truly do. What you loved, what you need more of, and what we can sharpen for the next time. You've got momentum, you've got tools, you've got a team. Now let's go out into action, because together we can. We're going to see you on January 20th. Let's grow. Jody, wrap us up.
Brian, so much stuff, we covered so many things. And, it's very hard to put these together, because we could have spent another 4 hours on all these topics and still not gotten through it all. So We hope that what we've done today is opened your eyes to some new ways of thinking about culture and growth to get you started. And if you walk away and try to figure it out solo, it's going to feel like drinking water from a fire hose. So don't do it. We're all Lions here, and there's a huge shortcut sitting right in front of us. It's the Lions USA Facebook group. I'm dropping it in the chat right now. If you haven't already joined it, join this group. There's about 4,000 Lions and Leos from across CA1, and they're sharing what's working, posting real wins, and asking real questions when they get stuck. And the best part is you're going to get answers from subject matter experts. You're going to get answers from real Lions who are actually doing the work, not just talking about it. So it's a perfect place for us to keep the learning between sessions and beyond going, because growth does not happen in just one workshop. It happens in the spaces between. When you try something, tweak it, try it again, and learn from each other. So don't just join this group and lurk. Get in there and post and respond. If you're stuck, ask. If you got a win, share it and inspire others. And if you've got a new tool, drop it in. Because when one of us figures it out, the rest of us don't have to start from scratch. We can adapt. So keep the conversation going. Let's keep the momentum going, because connection leads to more confidence, and more confidence leads to more invites and for us moving forward. All right. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. A few technical hiccups that we're going to fix. We have a great problem. We had too many people excited to join us. So
I love to see the excitement, Jody. I love to see everybody enthused and excited about growing again. This is awesome.
It was fantastic. So invite more friends. We'll be able to help you all, and enjoy our new theme song to play you on the way out. Let's do it, people.
Jody, one last plug. Go to lionsusa.org. Go to the program, sign up for Roar and Pour and all the other events that are going on. If you enjoyed this, we need everybody to share. Have some fun. Number one thing. Thanks, Jody.
Thank you, Brian. You totally rock. And guess what? Roar and Pour is Thursday night. We're going to be having PJs and celebrations. So hopefully
you want to have fun
there.
Don't miss the boat.
Awesome. See you all in 2 weeks. Don't forget to do your assignment and be ready to share what your results are and the challenges and all the fun things that are going on. Thank you all for participating.
Thank you all so much.
Talk to you later.
Share with everybody. You'll get the recording. Share it all. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.